All right, g'day, hi, and welcome. Okay, so I am definitely not making videos to procrastinate from sharpening these three saws. I'm not doing that at all. Anyway, the dangers of chainsaws. Got a nice big heavy chainsaw like that. Oh, that's the dangerous one. Oh, this light little guy, he can't be that dangerous. Trust me. Twice as dangerous as that because it's light. Twice as dangerous as that because it's lighter. This is dangerous as hell. So what I'm telling you is it doesn't matter what saw you have. They're all dangerous. The second you get complacent or whatever, you get yourself in a rush trying to get things done. Oh, got to fall that last tree of the day. Leave that last tree of the day for tomorrow. Oh, yeah, but then we have to drive all the way back. Too bad. Don't overdo it. The dangers of working in the bush. I don't know what the modern statistic is right now at current time, but pretty much throughout my life, it's always been known that of the top most dangerous jobs in the world, lumberjack is right there in the top 5 usually. It's like a crab fisherman, lumberjack, something else, underwater welder guy, aqua, what do they call that? What do they call the underwater welder guys? Not aqua welder, but aqua sparky, whatever. Anyway, that's actually pretty cool. What do you do for a living? I'm an aqua sparky, weld underwater. But anyway, yeah, like gas pipe underwater, very, very dangerous job, very high fatality rates, right? And I'll give you an idea. Okay. If you work with chainsaws at all, okay, or people that work with chainsaws, and if you live in the country, you're probably like me. Okay, I'll start with my great uncle. He was killed as a topper out in BC after there was 3 trees in a row like that, and, big gigantic, jack pines or big red pines or whatever. The first guy, he tied off wrong, and when the top went down, it snapped the chain, killed that guy, cut him in half. The chain whipped off, hit the second guy, killed him, and then it had enough energy to hit my uncle about 50 feet away, and he died a week later in the hospital. So 3 men died in a very short amount of time that day. That was commonplace back then. And these guys, they were way up in the air and whatever, so I don't know if he, if it was the chain that did him in or the fall after, like he got knocked out of the tree. Doesn't matter. He got killed. My uncle had a tree fall across his back. Amazing he's still alive. My dad has had branches hit him. I remember one time we were cutting something down there because this used to be, you might not believe it, but there used to be a tree line right about here when I was a kid. And we gradually cleared up that way. And there was something down there. It was a little freaking spring pole just let go, broke his glasses. It was right in front of him. It was like I saw it. It happened so fast. He didn't even know what happened. Like he was sitting there with the saw in his hand. He's like, "What the hell happened?" It happened so fast, right? So it happens that fast. A guy I went to school with, same age as me, branch widowmaker, fell down and paralyzed from the neck down. I could go on and on and on and on and on and on. My cousin had a chain snap and go into his leg. On and on and on. And these are guys that, they worked on and off in the bush. And some of these guys, they didn't work in the bush hardly at all. It's that dangerous. So I'm not trying to scare people, whatever, but what I'm telling you is the respect you have to have for these tools. It's not so much just the saw that's dangerous. It's what you're doing with the saw that increases the danger. You're falling a tree. So a tree like this, it's heavy. Like my cat. Hey, my kitty cat. Hey, Missy. Get that Hemi going. That's kitty Hemi. That's a kitty Hemi, right? Hey, Missy. Yeah. So she's gonna. Don't you climb up that big tree again. I've had to rescue her out of that tree about 4 times. I go up there and I'll grab her, and then she'll just climb down when I get up there. Anyway, so like a tree like this. Now that I lost my train of thought because my cat. Again, you got the widowmaker up there. But people will assume a small tree like that doesn't weigh much. but that tree is probably about 3 tons. You know what I mean? Like when you think about all the sap in there and everything like that, all that, you know, that tree is probably about, well, maybe not 3 tons. It wouldn't be that much, sorry. Maybe 2 tons. You know, that might be 4,000 pounds of tree if you add up everything, right? Both trees I'm talking. So, you know, there is a weight, like a tree like that would be the weight of the house. The average house weighs 40,000 pounds. You know what I mean? That's like, you know, 20 tons right there of tree. You know, you wouldn't think about it, but it is. Maybe that might be a little bit of high estimate, but, you know, it's a lot of weight is what I'm getting at. So that branch there, that branch probably weighs all in maybe about, you know, I don't know, 80, 90 pounds, we'll say, if you add up everything. If you're cutting and that's a dead branch and that falls off, that would kill you in a second. But you're not assuming a branch that's coming out of it, like something like this would kill you. You'd say, oh, that'll hurt, but it won't kill you. You would be surprised how many people have been killed by those little branches. And dead branches that don't weigh much. But from up there, when it, you know, halfway down, it's that terminal velocity. That's a smack in the head. You know what I mean? So, yeah, you know, it's very dangerous. So I just wanted to make that video. I'm sure it's been made to death of, you know, like usually the big thing that gets you with the saw itself is usually the bar skipping back at you, i.e. the danger zone on the, you know, like right here is where, you know, you always want to be very careful when you know, around from this, you know, like using the saw from, like, say this forward, because if you're using that and that goes there, zip, and it will happen so fast. The smallest saw here is this guy, and I can guarantee you the strongest man in the world cannot stop this thing from coming back at him if it kicks. Impossible. That will kick at you so fast, and if you're in its way when it kicks back, you get hurt, you get cut, you get killed, whatever. And that is what you got to understand. You know, like a lot of people think the big saw is the dangerous saw. It doesn't really matter what saw it is. This thing will kick back fast. You will not be able to stop it. This does it even faster because it's lighter. This does it fast because it's light. But that will still come back at you. Even though it's a heavier saw, it will still come back at you at lightning speed. You will not be able to stop it. And that's why you have to be attentive about and not complacent at all when you're operating saws. So don't have to be an expert to tell you this, right? So if you are getting new and you're into saws, learn safety. If you're really, really not sure what you're doing, get somebody to teach you. There's safety courses you can take. I do plan on taking a tree safety course, you know, at some point, as soon as I can find one that's really good. I want to take an arborist course, you know, for all the tie-ins and stuff like that, to get into the business of it, right? A little bit more. Right now, I'm what you would call a faller. I'm not an arborist. Arborist in the sense that I cut branches that are at, like, you know, ladder height, you know, or less. But I'm not like putting ropes up there and going up there and, you know, with the spikes on and stuff like that yet. And I don't even know if I need to do that, but it'd be, if I'm making enough money off of trees, say this year, next year, then yeah, you know, expand the business. But right now it's like, okay, I'm doing a lot of videos on the saws just because, well, I mean, look, these things are cool, right? But I'm also, you know, planning out my business, how I'm going to charge people and stuff like that. Right now, the easy wage is $65 an hour. That'll cover your fuel, that'll cover everything. But there's limitations to that too, because, you know, it's like, okay, 65 an hour. Okay, well, how long are you going to be here? I don't know. Job's done when it's done. Most people don't like that, right? So, okay, well, find a pricing system. And I'm looking at how other people are doing their pricing systems, and there's some really good ideas for pricing systems and contracts and stuff like that too. But that's other videos for other time. When I get to that stage, I'll be showing you that. Today, I just want to talk about how to, you know, be safe with them. I've been lucky so far, but I'm very, very attentive. The one little tip I'm going to, something I do, doesn't matter if it's a tree that size. The biggest tree I've ever fell was probably about that big. I know there's guys who go, oh, I fell bigger than that. That's fine. Good for you. But I've fallen trees that big. stove wooded trees. The biggest tree I stove wooded with Ninja Shark, not Sasquatch here, was probably 4 feet round. It was a 4-way cut. We'll just say roll 'em, roll 'em. It was a big yellow birch. It was the hugest stump. I was like, we had a load of logs brought here. And it's like, my dad looked at it. It's like, why did the guy we know, like, why did he bring that? Like, you should have known, like, why would you bring that? We got a lot of stove wood out of it, but what a pain in the ass to cut. Like, every block was like 200 pounds, you know what I mean? But we got it cut up anyway. Did it with these guys. Well, not that one, but the MS260. Not that's the MS270. But the thing is that yeah, stove wood. It's dangerous. You get jammed, rolling logs on top of each other. They roll on you. You really got to be mindful of what you're doing. So when I'm falling stuff, one of the first things I do as soon as that tree starts going down, and I know it's down, turn off the saw. Just turn it off. Don't go forward. Just let it hit the ground. Okay. Turn off the saw. Put the saw down. Get it out of your hand. Go look at your tree. Go. Take a minute or two. Then go at it. And I'll be talking more about like how I do that, because the problem is that you grab a little guy like this, you work with him all day, you don't even know you worked with him. This, you'll feel him at the end of the day. He is kind of heavy, but the thing is if you don't just go, you take your time, it slows you down a bit, and that's a good thing, because if you're slower or taking your time, you don't get complacent. So anyway, that's just my take.